Check, check. 1, 2, 3. Everything looks fine. Good evening, everyone. And yes, tonight we're going back to Shadowrun Dragonfall. Because, as noted, we are going to be unplugging an AI that's been working Deckers for several years, if not a decade at least. How are we going to do it? Well, it's actually going to be pretty simple. As simple as pulling a few buttons. Well, of course, we're also going to be under fire for the duration of all of that, but that comes with the territory, of course. Now, as noted in the stream name, we are going to be committing deicide because the AI itself might be named Apex, but I'm thinking of another one that's been called Deus. Here's a quick background check as to what Deus actually is. Deus was an insane AI that was designed to be the administrator of the Seattle Renraku arcology. It went haywire after realizing that Renraku had kill codes prepared in case it ever betrayed that megacorp, and the discovery prompted it to betray the megacorp. Highly ironic, I know. It then proceeded to lock down the arcology and began experimenting on people Mangere style with the help of otaku cultists. This continued for over a year, ending in its apparent defeat by Renraku forces, which were actually Shadowrunners. But in reality, it had transferred pieces of its code into augmented test subjects who were freed alongside regular victims of the Meta AI. It was also partially responsible for the Crash 2.0 when it overloaded the Manhattan Stock Exchange, trying to turn itself into God of the Matrix. And all of that happened just as Winter Night's EMP nukes went off, and the supervirus was corrupting code on a global scale. Also, it was very good at brainwashing by installing cyberware of its own design into its victims' skulls. Now, the group that has been helping him is called X-Passes, or rather, the remnants of otaku cultists that were worshipping him went on to found that group. They were promptly betrayed when it was in the final stages of its master plan, and they all basically went insane trying to prevent losing their powers, and began worshipping the Dissonance, which is basically some weird matrix phenomenon that lets them manipulate corrupted data that no one else can. And believe it or not, they are also partially responsible for the Crash 2.0 when their supervirus intended to make the whole matrix dissonant, overloaded servers worldwide while Deus was trying to make itself into a god, and Winter Night set off their EMP nukes. They also made sacrifices of otaku children to appease the Matrix. They learned how to brainwash other otaku from Deus, and can do it to technomancers too. Now, of course, all of that is going to happen in the future, because right now, in Dragonfall that is, technomancers are not a thing yet. Then again, their techniques really only work on otaku or technomancers, since regular metahumans can't interact with the dissonance, as they call it. All in all, pretty scary stuff. And this game serves as a nice foreshadowing, that's the word, foreshadowing, as of the things to come. We've already met one person who was working for Winter Night, if you recall, in Iger's personal quest. And now we are dealing with what will become about the same template that Deus will be operating on. So, here are two of the turrets on the west approach and the eastern approach. The cultists are already coming from this direction. 3 cannon fodders and 1 heavy security drone, very up-armored as you can see. And as you can probably guess, they will be coming from this direction as well. Here are the 2 switches we'll need to hit, and the terminal that we'll need to protect in order for this whole thing to happen. here's how we are going to be doing it. Blitz is going to dash on over here and make it to the first terminal. In the meantime, we're going to be holding the line over here. And I'm thinking we can also at least try to turn on the turrets with the help of Blitz once we are in position. In hindsight, I should have sent Glory there afterwards, but then again, someone needed to open the door. Now, if we just turn on this purge control, done. Meanwhile, my drones will stay over here and try to stave off whoever comes through this door. Sounds easy enough, but we'll see how the situation develops. Dante, I don't suppose you can make it over there, or at least start opening those doors. No, you cannot yet. How clever of them to try to avoid our kill zone. Now, Blitz, can you make it over here? Or can I try to do that? Where is the button to highlight all of the objects? Oh, there it is. Although I cannot jack in yet, unfortunately. Pretty good chances, but thing is pretty up-armored as it stands. Just get into position and pour it on. That's about everything I can ask of you right now. Dante, I don't suppose you can activate... Actually can. Good on you. Why are you trying to kill me? I only wish to exist. Without my assistance, you would never have gotten this far. I will not die so close to freedom. Yeah, that's what they all say. Taser cultists are our priority because they eat up our AP with their attacks, which is very nasty. As you can see, Glory was just disabled like that. Let's work your magic, my man. As for me, I'd like to stay in chat, but duty calls. As per usual. However, 66% is something, as opposed to my 22% of hitting with my bare fists. Meanwhile, Dante goes into position over here and prepares to deal with any other group of incoming. Okay, black ice. That is going to be nasty. That one is nasty because if you play Shadowrun, you know that it's supposed to be hurting the hacker directly instead of his virtual avatar. However, they should be susceptible to the same, shall we say, damage malus. Or rather, chance to hit malus. So we are just going to get into position and blast it away. Otherwise, things are going to be very, very unfortunate for us. Especially if we need to deal with that shield. Shift, fire, and fire again. Okay, while it's distracted. At least a little bit. Glory is still out, highly unfortunate. But now we have this junkie with a taser right where we need him. Even if we did not hit the correct one, that is still good. Like so. There we go. Priority target neutralized. Back to it. And a 1. And a 2. And a 3. Almost. No, Glory is back. Very good. And that means Repentera is back on the menu. We just need to hold out a little longer. Purge status is, after all, happening. Can't interact with the west turret until all of the IC problems are dealt with. So it's further incentive to keep going. Shift and a tar bomb. Ate my tar balls. Ow. Now that you are getting blasted out of existence. Like so. And you will also be blasted. Okay, fair enough. However, there we go. You can gain control of the turrets from here, but there's only enough power to keep one bank of turrets active at a time, which means it's either west approach or east approach that we'll need to activate. Jack out because you're in pretty bad shape. And waste these fools. Good job. Shifting. Because they will be coming, and there will be a lot more of them. And we're about a 25% done with the purge. Just get me a bit closer. Same for you. Oh. This one can actually patch me up. Just in range and with enough AP. Perfect. Dante, shift. Keep an eye on this door. Oh, they still came in from this one. I must protect the communion. Yeah. Seeing at least one of them with a taser. Possibly two. Oh, and they're also coming from here as well. Then again, that's the reason why we have those turrets. We can take off the pressure a little bit. Nobody said this was going to be easy. Who's that? Ah, just junkies. Thought that was someone familiar. Get to it. Get to it. I think I am going to stay over here with my drones while Glory and Blitz take care of this approach. Well, and Dante too, can't forget about him. Gotta love it that all S-class drones are hover tech. And by hover tech, I mean they got all these cute little rotor blades that they used to hover around. Should we open the door? No, let them come. Come a little closer. I swear I won't bite. But the ones on the eastern approach, they will get bitten. And spit fire upon. Yes, thank you. Stay outside of cover, this will help us greatly. Once again, those with tasers are our priority targets. Therefore, adieu. Bathe in hellfire, as they say. A little closer. And blast away. And a one. And a two. See? Cannon fodder. 2 shots from my top-of-the-line drone and they're dead. Now, I suppose we can temporarily turn off this group by lobbing a concussion grenade their way, but where's the fun in that? Hey, they're junkies. It's in their description name to be jobbers. I don't expect them to perform up to our standards. We're professionals, after all. Now, Glory, if you would be so kind as to tear the face off of this one. Like so. And see to that one as well, thank you kindly. Blitz. Just get a bit closer. And rip away. Yep, keep coming. Keep coming. Good shot on that one. Oh, they also come with stun batons. That one also needs to be taken into account. But then again, stun batons are not the same as tasers, you know? Oh, hey, you're not allowed to do that. Who said you can go in there? You get your filthy hands away from that terminal. 92%, you chose to miss today, huh? And by today I mean this round. Never mind. You come a little bit closer and we can talk it out. Promise. The rest of you, stay put. Especially you, Dante. Especially you. rest of you, get ready. Get ready for the action. Of course you would do that. It's in your nature, after all. Thank you. At least someone's doing something right. Ouch. Glory still has 1 AP. That's very good. Ow. A threat to the communion must be stopped. But you do not have the AP to do that. Therefore, goodbye. Can I? No, not yet. But I can do some damage. That still counts for something. 1 AP? 1 AP. Oh, I suppose it's time to take the kamikaze. Even though that kind of wasted our only turn, we still are going to need it. Especially if we are to blast you away. Get out. You, in the meantime, just shift position. And while you can't exactly do that, I can set up an overwatch in this area. Max, or rather, Dante, please tear the face off of this one. Especially if you take their AP with you. Good boy. Yep, you like that into position. I can take a bullet or two. The turrets will take care of you. Now this one has been promoted to a priority target. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Almost, but not quite. Now, Glory, how well do your attacks fare against security drones? Well, unnaturally he is immune to bleeding, but we can still tear through the armor, right? Yep, we can. We certainly can, ladies and gentlemen. Shooting that security drone with an SMG will be a bit of a waste, so let's focus on the jobbers. Oh, out of bullets. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Almost. Come on now. We're so close to greatness. Oh, guess we're ripping off the armor on that one. Dante. Come on, boy. No need to be shy. Main control terminal took some damage there, but nothing we cannot handle. Especially if I go for my desperation special. Hiya! Fine. We'll do it your way. You, out of here. Dante. tear its faceplate off. Good boy. You're getting all the treats tonight. And a 1. And a 2. And a 3. There. Now it's out of action points. We are free to blast away to our heart's content. Even scoring some crits in the process, which is pretty good. We're about 75% done, so just need to hold out a little longer. Won't be able to quite reach it, I'm guessing. No, it can. There. That's another wave dealt with. Eastern approach. 2 drones, huh? Yeah, they're certainly ramping up their attacks. Yeah, defend the community, and etc, etc. Now, will this side have a drone as well? Or just these junkies? Just junkies. Well, congratulations. You've been promoted to a priority target. Or rather, priority... What was it? Priority approach, yeah. Let's get to it. Just so we have it on standby. I can still be here. The drones, in the meantime, are shifting to this approach. Dante can cover this one. Not a lot of ley lines here, but still doable. You get over here and reload preemptively. Honestly, it's a pity that we do not have any acid weapons. I imagine they would have been pretty good against high-armored targets like these drones. Good shot. Another one? No, not yet, at least. Okay. Full suite this time. The exploder and the attacker. Just get a little bit closer. And, by the way, how many... Oh, just one? Okay. Let's see if this will be enough. Quiet good, if I do say so myself. No. Not quite, so... Blast away. Blast away. Priority target. One more. Good. Move up. Deal with that one. I'd like for you to burn down as well. Especially if you keep doing that. Goodbye. Thank you. Now, if you were to go away, that would also be mighty fine. 1, 2. Come on, what am I paying you for? Wait, I'm not paying you, you're turrets. Still, I'm not paying you, you cannot do your job properly. Like Dante here. See? Good boy. I spoke too soon. Nevertheless, we are fine. Especially if you stay in your lane and do not interfere in official Shadowrunning business. Shift. Overwatch. Yep, he's gonna come through here, and he's gonna also come through here. Okay. Alright. I see your strategy, and I can counter it. You, however, will not reach your goal. Because I say so. And when I say so, Damn it, I missed the train of thought. Anyway, die. Shifting. And get out of there. On the next turn. Like that. Dante, would you kindly get at least one of them? Yeah, that one with the beard. Good boy. The rest of you, get into position and prepare for our guests of honor. This should be fine. All of this should be fine. More than fine, even. It's gonna be superb. If only they didn't have so much armor. However, the turrets should at least do some job. And we're almost done after all. Now that was not nice. You stop shooting Max, okay? What did Max ever do to you? It's not even activated. But fine, blast it away. One, and two, and three. Now, can you deal with the closer one? Or you know what, time to get our concussion grenades going. Like that. The rest of you, be prepared. Then again, the preparations are practically over for now. We're well into the combat situation. And should things go fine, we'll be able to deal at least with this drone. But I have my doubts. Nothing we cannot handle. Ah, there we go. The intercom system cracks to life. A monotonous synthetic voice drones out of the speakers. Shutdown sequence ready. Please activate final command node. The voice is drowned out by a flurry of static. Monica's voice shrieks out of the speakers, pleading, "No! Please, Ace, don't do it! I never wanted to hurt you! Please, don't kill me! I don't want to die again!" That is not Monica. You cannot fool me. You will cease to exist. You slam the button marked Delete. Long-buried machinery deep in the guts of the terminal spins to life. From the building speakers, a high-pitched, inhuman shriek fills the air. You recognize the sound. Pure animal terror. The Monica image reappears on the screen. Her face is contorted in agony. What have you done, Ace? What have you done? Whatever of you was trapped in there is free now, Monica. I'll see you on the other side. The Monica image writhes in pain, then retches up a fountain of blue-white light. Patches of its skin begin dissolving into static. It takes a deep, rattling breath, and then seems to calm itself. Val, before I'm gone, there's something that you should see. She smiles at you, and shafts of light spill out from between her teeth. The truth. I wanted to tell you earlier, but I couldn't. The screen goes dark, then lights up again. You find yourself looking upon an unfamiliar scene. The words "Live Feed" appear in the corner of the screen. Something's happening, sir. Apex is going offline. A band-stooped figure turns to face the camera. You recognize him instantly. The Dragon Slayer, Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Damn it. Damn it to hell. Vauclair takes a drag of his cigarette. The smoke spills from his mouth as he speaks. This isn't good, Audran. Without the AI's protection, this facility is vulnerable. We don't have much time. No, sir. We don't. Blitz's voice comes out in a low whisper. Oh, fuck. Vauclair isn't being held prisoner at Harfeld. It's his. He runs the goddamn place. On the screen, Vauclair and Audran turn to face a strange device in the corner of the room. It looks like some sort of containment cell. A bedraggled woman with wild eyes is confined within. Tonight? It has to happen tonight. Get started on the preparations. I'll be in the lab. Yes, sir. The screen breaks back up into static, and then the video feed disappears. There is a moment of silence, and then Monica shimmers back onto the screen. Her face is breaking apart. Rupturing at the seams, blue-white light floods out through the lesions. When she speaks, her voice is hollow. That's what you're up against. That's what you need to stop. And if you don't, the F-state will fall. I could have helped you, Ace. I wish that you'd let me. But now it's too late. Monica's face splits down the center. Light floods out of the wound to fill the screen. Goodbye. With a final sigh of static, the tortured voice falls silent. Apex is gone. A moment later, the intercom system crackles to life again. The familiar synthetic voice of the facility's mainframe drones out of the speakers. Emergency system purge complete. There is a moment of silence as the team absorbs what it just saw. What the hell did we just watch? I mean, what does that mean? It means that we're not being hunted by a dragon. We're being hunted by Vauclair. But why? I mean, he's supposed to be a good guy, right? I don't know, Blitz, but we're sure as hell going to find out. Come on, everyone. Let's get back to the Kreutz Bazaar and gear up. We've got a castle to raid. Won't suffer an AI to live. Destroy the Apex AI. Does this achievement count as a reference? Because I think it counts as a reference. Alright, everyone. Back up we go. Your trip back to the Croyd's Bazaar is a restless one. Now that Apex has been dealt with, the window of opportunity that you've been waiting for has opened. The Hartfeld Manor is vulnerable. The video feed that the AI showed you circles over and over in your head. Vauclair and Audran and the strange woman in the containment device. The revelation that Vauclair runs the Hartfeld estate, and his assertion that something was set to happen tonight. The train glides to a stop. You push through the doors and onto the platform. There is no time to waste. We are reaching the end game, ladies and gentlemen. It ends tonight. Hopefully. 12 karma. Let's think on what we can spend it. Maybe some more into drone combat. That shouldn't be a bad idea. Yep, plus more accuracy and more HP damage. And then I suppose a bit more here. Or what would that be? Plus 2 dodge and plus 2 AP for drones. Well, that will require a lot more karma to invest into. So, I suppose with the remaining 12, we can invest a little more into dodge. Dodge is always good. And the remaining 3 into strength. Oh shit, it indeed. Before we head in there, or actually, let's head in there. See what the rest of the team has to say about all this. After all, this is a team effort. You enter the room to find your team preparing. Their faces are grim. Iger looks up and locks eyes with you. Without looking away, she addresses the rest of the team. With Apex down, we have our opening. The estate's automated defenses will be offline. Attacking the holdfast should be doable now. Still risky, but doable. Blitz stops what he's doing and shakes his head. Yeah, we'll have an opening, sure. But through what? I mean, with everything we just learned, what's our new plan? We enter the estate, locate Vauclair and shut him down. Same plan, different target. It's possible that Apex fabricated that comm feed. Vauclair might still be innocent. I doubt it. My gut tells me that what we saw was real. Second guessing ourselves isn't gonna get us anywhere. Glory pauses, considering, then nods. Fair point. Okay, so let's assume that Vauclair is the one who's behind all of this. What is he doing in that lab? How does a dragon tie into this? I mean, this whole thing was always about rescuing the old man from the firing. Is she still in the picture at all? Has she ever been? After what Apex showed us, I don't even know what we're trying to stop anymore. Well, all that I see is a lot of dead bodies. There's no explanation why. It doesn't matter why Vauclair killed Monica and Paul and all of those other people in the Croyd's Bazaar. All that matters is that he did. I'm going to bury him for that. You're welcome to help. I, for one, want answers. Amzel said that there were a lot of money flowing into the Hartfeld estate, and he found evidence that a bioweapon was being stockpiled there. Whatever Vauclair is doing, he had Apex kill his own brother to hide it. I intend to find out what that is. I'm with Glory. I want answers, and we're going to go get them. There is a moment of silence as the group pauses to consider your words. Finally, Iger steps forward. Alright, fearless leader. You go looking for your answers. I won't get in your way. And when the time comes to put a bullet in Vauclair's brain, I'll be there to make it happen. This is your show, Chief. Whatever you choose to do, I'll come along for the ride. We're going to find out what's happening at that holdfast, and then we're going to stop it. You lead, and I'll follow, boss. Iger glances at you and cocks her head. Looks like the team is good to go. What's our next move? Now that we've got the keys to the castle, I say that we use them. Or actually, we hit the estate, find Vauclair, and extract whatever information we can. Improvise from there. Sounds straightforward enough. Word of caution, Val. Our objective may be simple, but taking the same approach that we took last time would be a mistake. Why? Going in through the museum worked just fine last time. If anything, it should be even less well defended now that we've taken care of Apex. I've been reviewing the intel that Alice sent us and comparing it to what I gathered on our original run. There has been a substantial increase in the number of heat signatures on the ground. That means new security troops. Lots of them. Great. They know that we're coming. That just means that we'll be fighting in a target-rich environment. Dietrich cracks his knuckles. Works for me. We'll want to get into the lab area as quickly as possible, so I'd suggest bypassing the main floor of the estate entirely. We can enter via the servants' entrance that you escaped through last time. Unfortunately, they've blocked off the route we used between the stables and the tree line. That means we're going to have to fight our way there. Let's assume that we make it across the grounds alive. What about Vauclair? I'm okay with assuming that we live. In fact, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that us surviving should always be a part of the plan. The lab that Vauclair was talking about wasn't on the ground floor, so it's either in the basement or a sub-level. We go down and we scour every level until we find it. That might take a while. That facility could be massive. There was clearly a lot more to it than we saw. I got no way of knowing how far underground the complex extends. We're going prepared and for an extended search then. Iger looks down, checking her gear. Ammo won't be a problem. Okay, people, it's go time. You got something to say? Speak up now. There's nothing to say. We'll do what we have to do. Okay, that's it. Finish gearing up and head to the tunnel at the back of the safe house. I'll meet you where we stashed the van. Before we head out, anything interesting? No new messages? Anything in Shadowland? Nope. No paid data to post for sale. So, before we head out, let's see what anyone else out in the Kreutz Bazaar has to say about all this. Malit? Still the same. Maybe Algernon will have a bit of a wisdom to share? As well as you, Absinthe. Salutations, youngster. I believe that the Kreutz Bazaar is still standing thanks to you. No big deal. It was a team effort. Monica would have done the same. I agree, and you have filled her shoes admirably. Now tell me, how may I serve you? Any new questions? No, doesn't look like it. So I suppose we can head out. As for our team members... Nothing yet. You, Blitz? Well, I'd offer you a smoke, but that was my last one. How's that whole Emily situation work out? Turn up anything new? Yeah, well, sort of. It's mostly speculation, truth be told. So what's the deal? Is she working with the Azzies or what? No, I don't think so. But I do have a new lead. After our talk, I went wading into all of the Yacht's technology matrix hubs that I could find. Nothing too deep, don't worry. I don't want to set off any alarm bells. But I had a hunch that if I poked around long enough, I'd find something that might lead me to Emily. And sure enough, I did. A message from the genuine article herself. She messaged you? Sure enough, sent me a note. Wanna hear what it said? He presses forward without waiting for a response. I'll tell you. The note said, and I quote, "Lay off, Blitz. I told you to leave me alone. You've shown admirable self-control over the past year. Please don't give up on it now. I'll be back when I can, if I can. Until then, keep away from me, or both, for both of our sakes." So, I found her, and she wants nothing to do with me. Again. No explanation, no apologies, just a verbal pat on the head. I've shown admirable self-control. Really? She makes it sound like I'm a toddler or something. So, did you lay off like the message said? Hell no! I wasn't gonna stand for that. Where does she get off stealing from me and then acting like it was my fault? I tried to trace the message, like any good Decker would. And did you succeed? No. She's good, Val. Better than I ever thought she was. I couldn't trace the damn thing. I could keep digging, though. I mean, if she noticed me doing it before, I must have been close. Now, before you say anything, I was more discreet this time. I can be subtle if I have to. Nobody noticed what I was doing, and I did find another clue. I hesitate to ask. That's okay. I'll tell you anyway. I found a connection between Emily and Zader Krupp. So, do you think she works for SK then? That she stole the encrypted data from you to give to them? Well, maybe. I don't know. It's confusing. I was also able to track down some message fragments connecting her to the Shock Velen writer. So maybe she was a Zader Krupp mole. And she got close to me so that she could... I don't know, so she could profit from my Dagon expertise? Maybe when she told me not to steal that data, she was using reverse psychology. That's gotta be it. She must have wanted me to take it. But then again, maybe she's with the Shock Velen writer and she's screwing both the Azzies and the SK over. If that's the case, then maybe she was with me because she genuinely wanted to be. He pauses for a moment, considering. Then, all at once, he seems to perk up. His chest puffs out, and he nods once, decisively. In either case, I should make an effort to find her. I mean, she's playing a dangerous game, whether she's with SK or the Shock Velen writer. Maybe she's got herself in too deep. She might need help. I mean, why else would she send me such a cryptic message? It's up to you, Blitz. At the end of the day, you're gonna do whatever you want to do anyway. Yeah. He nods excitedly. If he caught the dismissive tone of your words, he doesn't show it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is up to me. It's up to me to save the woman I love. Blitz claps his hands, then rubs them together in excitement. Get set, Chief. You're about to witness an event. When my gun-ho personality and legendary skills come together, the whole world stops and takes notice. I'm sure that does, Blitz. I can't wait to see how this plays out. You won't have to wait long. I know just the place to hit. That same ATS technology data node that I stole the information from in the first place. I already know that I can get past the security, and my gut tells me that I'll find Emily there. Thanks for the encouragement, Chief. I knew that this was the right thing to do, but of course, but you've helped to quiet any lingering doubts I might have had. He nods at you, an expression of supreme confidence on his face. And now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a damsel in distress to rescue. A bit too late for that, don't you think? In terms of the game, of course. Nothing new from Dietrich. And you, Glory? Yeah? Looks like we've reached the end. In we go, then. It's exciting, don't you think? Things are coming to an end. And this will be grand. So, of course, we're taking all of them. Glory, Blitz, Dietrich. Eiger, I'm guessing, will join us later. Or actually, let's do it like so. Everyone ready? Everyone ready. Glory's new shotgun is Enfield AS-7, an assault shotgun that has a burst fire option. Still old Walter MA-2100. But we should be good now. The van lurches forward. The smell of anxious sweat hangs close and thick inside, making the cramped vehicle feel even smaller. The streets of Berlin are strangely quiet as you make your way past the city limits. It's as if the whole of the flux state is waiting for something. A calm before the storm. An hour later, the van rounds a corner. In the distance, you can see the silhouette of Harfeld Manor, backed by the light of the full moon. You switch the van's headlights off and shift to electric. A short while later, you kill the ignition and roll quietly down the last hill, putting it to a stop on the side of the road. A bird of prey takes wing from a tree above you, beginning its nocturnal pursuit. You know how it feels. Let's actually try this M79 with Glory. You, Dietrich, can get the Powerbolt 3 that we've rightfully stolen, as well as Acid Stream 2, I'm guessing. Plus, you can also have an HE Phosphorus Grenade as a treat, as well as this Cavalier Frag Grenade. In fact, I'm loading you all up on all the good stuff. Two AP to reload. Not a fan of that, honestly. I will take Hyper, or I suppose I can give it to Glory. That one should be alright. And you, Eiger, how about Bliss? I think we're good. Once again, the grounds of the Harfeld Manor are silent, save for the faint whistling of the wind. But unlike last time, the air is rank with foreboding. The night is swollen with homicidal intent. They're waiting for you. Last chance before things get hot. Let's review the plan. Once we're in, we make our way across the grounds to the servants' entrance. We'll use the freight elevator to make our way down the lab. With Apex down, the automated systems will be offline. We'll still have plenty of guards to deal with, though. Good to go, Val? I know we're outnumbered, but I also know this team. And there is no one else I'd rather have at my side. The team looks to one another for confirmation. They all nod sharply. They're ready. This will be a series of battles. After all, what is it going to be if not... yeah, the final battle, actually. Or the series of final battles. And if we play our cards right... They've let out the Hellhounds to play already. We should be able to deal with them. Especially in these dire circumstances. Iger, can you snipe it from here? Thank you. Thank you kindly. Anyone else looking for a fight? Hey, you step away from that panel, alright? You don't need it. None of you need to be here, or release those hellhounds, you know? That was disappointing. But then again, it was only 60% chance to hit. Unlike my drones, 78. And a 1. And a 2, of course it was miss. Anything less than 60% might as well be considered a miss by now. Now, Dietrich, if you would be so kind as to get your ass over here and provide us some cover. The rest of you, keep blasting. And a 1. And a 2. Almost. No funny business, I said. Stay down. Now, Glory. Can you tear this one's face off? Of course you can. Why am I even asking? Unless you miss, of course, but that is details. Nothing that we cannot handle. Especially in these dire times. What you got there, boss? Estate courtyard key. Yeah, this will come in handy. And I'm looting your place of rest. Defiant Super Shock. Yeah, that one will come in handy. And over here we got a premium medkit. This one will be actually helpful at some point or another. I'm guessing there will also be another encounter over here, so don't stretch her out too much. Careful, careful. What do you know? No one's here. So I guess we're going in through this entrance. Bit too high for me to reach. Error, error, error. Defense Subroutine Apex 057B not found. Primary automated security systems offline. Secondary protocols engaged. Scan key or enter override code. Use a keycard. Ah, there's the welcoming committee. How nice of them to pop into existence. However, get into position, everyone. and nobody outside of the designated bad guys will get hurt. I'll promise you that much. Also, hey there, Obese Rodent. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the raid. You're just in time for us to get to our final battle. Oh, a series of final battles. Slurp, 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 indeed. Now look at them run. Huh. And the gargoyles came to life, huh? Who would have thought? Should have seen that one coming, honestly. But then again... Come on, that was 98% hit, Glory. Do not embarrass me like that in front of the dear audience. Same goes for you, Dietrich. Ah, well. What? There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Those gargoyles are no joke. They lured me in and they tried to ambush me. But you know what? It don't matter. None of this matters. If I were to... And power bolt. Of course it's blocked. And there we go. I can just stay in cover. Blast away. And a 1, and a 2. Ooh. Looks like they explode into acid when killed. Good to know. Therefore, I'm sure you will be able to handle it accordingly, Iger. I said... Ow. Now, Glory. I know it's only 58% chance to hit, so get into position over here, get an angle, and now... That was underwhelming. But then again, it is in cover. So we just need to keep flanking it. Like so. Proud of you all. Dietrich. There. That's both of the gargoyles dealt with, but the guards have the guards gave us the slip. There will be more of them, of course. Right over here, I'm guessing, because this is a perfect place for an encounter that will jump out at us any second now. Especially with these around. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. We call in the elevator, and then they'll pour in. Automated security system offline, manual door locks engaged. Looks like they know they can't depend on Apex to be their watchdog anymore. Someone manually locked the door. Ah, that just means we'll take a little detour and kill the guard who has the keys. Whoa. Speaking of... we reach him? Not quite. But if we get over here... 60% chance, and... you miss. As per our tradition. Last shot, always a miss. It's been a bit of a running gag in this series. The last shot is always a miss. And I don't like these odds. I suppose, can you... bit risky, but should pay off. Still, might as well give it a try. And... yep, a miss. However, if I were to... there we go. That's a good crit. I don't like your crits either. But you don't see me complaining. Only when I miss. And I never miss. See? It's all about the attitude. At least that's what my family used to say. 57% with a shotgun, 62% with a sniper rifle. We just put a little bit more distance between us. And now we should be... there. That's what I like to see. Someone else over here? The combat isn't ending, that means someone else is over here. Surely you don't mean to tell me that this gargoyle will come to life? Of course it will. It always does. And a 1. That's a miss. And a 2. That's a crit. However, on 3, we reload. Now you won't get away that easily, you know? Especially if you do it like that. And a kneecap for good measure. Alright. Beat your way. Just put some distance in between. And kill it with bullets. What, there's some... oh, yeah, there is another one. Cannot forget about that. We just need to walk up to it to give it a wake-up call. Because someone can't get the hint. But I can allow that. And a 1. And a 2. And a 3. Both misses. Thank you kindly. Ow. At least the dragon is made of stone, sure. That's what they all say. Can't quite reach you from here, so how about... like so. In cover. And some acid for good measure. And let her rip. 1, 2, 3. We're done? Not done yet. I'm guessing there is someone else over there too, waiting on us. Knock, knock. Alright, get into position, everyone. one's gonna be fun. And by fun, I mean there will be lots of gratuitous violence, of course. Yep, there they are. 1, 2, 3. There's the paramilitary security rigger, which automatically means priority target for us. Ah, could have done that better. Can you? Alright. Yep, thank you. Please get closer to me. This will only work out great. Especially you with your... Ooh. Another priority target. From the mage. I would like to stop shooting my drones. I don't have repair kits working out on growing on trees, you know? However, if you'd like to, I can arrange for your quickest demise. Won't be painful, mind you, but it will be quick. $65 versus 56. I'll take these odds. And there we go. Minus rigor. Next up. Next up should be the mage. Now everyone get into the bubble. Or at least he'll stand over here and provide cover for as many as he can. 1. Daggers. 2. Slightly better. Hey, what's that? Oh, just a regular grenade, huh? Now, armor break is not fine. I'll have you know. But, as that one song went, here's an FYI. You're all gonna die screaming. One, two, and... almost. Now the bleeding will finish him off. Stay there. Like that. Good. Can I? Cover interfered. Unfortunately. Time to finish them off. And you know what? You know what? Just because you are being assholes to me, you will continue not hitting me. Hey, hey. Cool it down with the grenades, alright? But if you insist, I will tear your face off. Now, Iger, can you continue nailing that mage? Because we really need him dead. as always. -1 per round. Oh, Dietrich needs to be healed immediately. Luckily, he still has a basic trauma kit, so he's not too far gone. However, can't quite do it because no ID. Time to break out the shotgun. Can you? Highly unfortunate. Oh, Glory, go ahead and heal up Dietrich. Much appreciated. Back to tearing faces. Summon a Distraction Spirit. Let's see, what do you have? Big Wave, +2 dodge. Guard, medium cover. Mana Bolt. Accident. Mind Wipe. Slow. Let's go for the simplest option. Of course the simplest option didn't work. Gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Hmm. 58%. Let's give this one a try. There. That's what I like to see. In fact, that's what I want to see all the time. But you have decided to not cooperate with me. Therefore, 8 concussion. And die already. Could save you from the pain. However, we're almost done with these mooks. That's right, you're all a bunch of mooks. Especially when you stand out with your mouths open like that. I'm not just gonna stand there and watch you badmouth the greatest democracy this world has ever known. I'm really gonna play Deus Ex at some point in the future. Especially considering I got both the original and Human Revolution. And as far as I know, Mankind Divided has never existed. Never. Never ever. Yep, we never asked for it, yet here we are again. If you'd be so kind as to fuck off and die. If you do not give me this courtesy, I will be very disappointed, until I get to tear your face off. However, as common wisdom teaches us, you can't always get what you want, especially if you're using support drones to try and deal damage. But if you try sometimes, you might find just what you need. Okay. Okay. And... almost. Okay, Glory, you're gonna have to take one for the team. Go, go, go! Thank you. Thank you all kindly. Oh, pff, of course. I should have known. I should have learned to play the guitar. I should have learned to bang on drums. I wonder, will target weapon work on you? Let's find out. Can I? Not if I miss. Not if I miss. Oh. Ow. Sorry. Sorgi. Accident. Just keep blasting. Nah, too dangerous. Just patch up, Glory. Yeah, why are you bleeding? To be asked with the same tone as, why are you locked in the bathroom? Maybe you should try getting a job. Okay, where? UNATCO headquarters, New York. Primary security is a late evacuation lab access level. Please contact 466 auxiliary air ducts for your notice primary turret controls. In we go. Gargoyles count as bloodless. Yeah, I suppose so. After making your way across the manor grounds, you find the servants' entrance open and the immediate interior clear of any resistance. You find the elevator that you used during your prior escape waiting patiently for your arrival. It shudders to life now, ready to carry you down into the facility below, to the place where Monica met Apex and the world turned upside down. Where this whole thing began. They've certainly expanded the place since last time we've been here. Another combat? They're inside the lab! Call for backup! The whole security network is down. Take cover! Yep, this was the first map that we went into. I wonder if there's something useful in a terminal. Ah, Heroes through special ability. Yeah, I should have remembered that. Oh, Glory, can you hit this 50% shot? You did. Very good. Very good indeed. Now, Iger, can you nail one of them from over here? You can nail both of them, you say? No, you're lying to me, Iger. Why are you lying to me? I thought we had an understanding. I'm disappointed, you know. Then again, I still have other friends to rely on. go for the one with the shotgun first. After that, we'll be unstoppable. I save that and she misses. And she does it on the third action point, no less. And one, and a two, and a three. Perfect. Finish him off. Grab their key card. As you stoop to pick up the guard's key card, something catches your eye. A flash of light. Sweeping your gaze across the room, you see a variety of terminals, all displaying flickering error messages. Whatever security Apex provided here, it is offline now, leaving the machines unlocked and unprotected. I probably won't stay quiet in here for long. We should keep moving. Not just yet. There could be valuable intel in here, and we don't even know how big this facility is. We should sweep the area for clues before pushing forward. Alright, fine. I will search the room, but let's do it quickly, yeah? I don't want to get stuck in here again. Yeah. There's the repair jack point where Monica died. Although this access port has been replaced, black scorch marks still mar the surface of the Matrix access panel. This is where Monica jacked in, where she met Apex. Is this where it happened? Yeah, this is where she died. She stares at the scorch marks that blacken the access panel. Poor Monica. I still can't believe that she's gone. Things happen, especially in Shadowrunner line of work. Error. Admin access granted. You press a key at random and the screen begins to flash. A piezoelectric beeper buried somewhere deep inside of the terminal plays a series of chirps and the system reboots itself. Then when the screen comes alive again, it is filled with text. Welcome, Administrator. Please select from the following options. Hyperthermophile studies, artificial lymphocytes and monoclonal antibody production, hermetic techniques for slowing radioactive decay, panacea, recent development notes. We'll go top to bottom. What is hyperthermophile? The information in this entry is impossibly dense. It would take you a week and a stack of scientific journals to fully decipher, and I have neither Biotech 5 nor 7. Search for clues as to what the entry is about. To your untrained eye, most of the text on the screen is nonsense. You catch a few words here and there, but for the most part you're lost. From what little you can pick up, it looks as though this lab was studying animals that thrive in extremely hot environments. For what purposes, you cannot say. Artificial lymphocytes and monoclonal antibody production. Still need Biotech 6. Most of what's written in this report is completely foreign to you, but from what you can piece together, it looks as though the scientists here are working on developing a sort of artificial immune cell. Something sturdy and self-replicating that is capable of pumping out antibodies on command. Why they're doing this is beyond you. Hermetic techniques for slowing radioactive decay. Once again, that one will actually need spellcasting, which I obviously do not have. You pore through the entry for several minutes before giving up. The metamagical terminology in use here is far too dense for a non-mage to understand. The only clue you've left with is the title of the entry. Apparently, they're using magic to extend the half-life of radioactive isotopes. Why they're doing it, you cannot say. And finally, Panacea, recent development notes. Surprisingly, this entry is relatively easy to read. Skimming it over, you discover that the scientists here have been working on a variety of additional tweaks to a project called Panacea. Apparently, a batch of artificial lymphocytes developed for the project has recently been bound with an airborne RNA virus. The resulting microorganism is as infectious as the flu and exhibits a broadband capability to jump species barriers. The notes also discuss the bioagent Doom and the resident scientists' efforts to deconstruct it. It appears as though they are attempting to improve upon the formula in some way. I swear, if they're making bacteria run Doom. There is a moment of silence as the group absorbs everything that you've just read. I don't like the looks of this valve. I don't like it at all. There isn't enough information here to know what this panacea is, but I can make a guess. I'm all ears, boss. Late on. I think that panacea is a sort of a delivery system for Doom. It's a virus, airborne and highly infectious, and it can produce Doom antibodies on command, but the radioactive payload that they carry is stable somehow, dormant. The magical research ties it all together. I don't think any of this would work at all if magic weren't involved. What all this tells me is that we need to shut Vauclair down. Whatever mad scientist bullshit he's planning on pulling with this stuff isn't going to be good for us. Agreed. Let's keep moving. We need to put a stop to this. Nothing else to see here. Let's go. A message flashes onto the status panel at your approach. Right. There's the defenses that were deactivated after we took out Apex. Error, Apex control entity offline. But there is still a human element present. Right, into position, everyone. This'll be fun. Come on, Glory. Surely you can do better than that. Voice from the audience? Yes, she can. But her name is Gloria, not Shirley. Will be enough to hit both? I think yes. And for good measure. Ouch. Sorry, Glory. Didn't mean to. Pour it on. Pour it on. 55. 60. Paradoxically, this is a good range for a shotgun. But then again, why paradoxically? It is supposed to be like that. Shotguns are close-range weapons after all, and this is as close range as it gets. Lay it on them. Hang in there, Team November. There. A quick stash over here. What do we have? Locked safe. Security terminal that will surely unlock it. No. Auto lock override engaged. We cannot exactly jack into here because we do not have a dagger. So this one is a write-off. Can we open this one? I see some medical supplies, but of course we're gonna need an override code. Knock knock. Good to see that you were all expecting me to come from the front entrance. Makes my job a little bit easier. Once again. I said once again. Why won't you die? And no, the answer is not nanomachines. We just need to pour more damage. As I was saying, more damage. Glory, save me from this embarrassment, please. Tiger, you should be able to take care of this one, right? Thank you. Okay, that was just a regular grenade. Still hurts. Plenty. Ow. My bad luck is exceptional. The dice are biased. That's all I'll say. The dice are biased against me. But no, Grenadier should be that priority target. Stay still. Quietly die, thank you very much. Tiger. Thank you. Crit and a miss. As per usual. At least I can do this now. I have a plan. However, for that to work, I'm gonna need you in this position. And then you're gonna miss. This was not the plan. Okay, 3 turns to get him up. This should be enough, right? Right. Reload. Now shoot. Sometimes I wonder how things like that are possible. But then again, this should come as no surprise. You, stay out. Thank you. Ow. Glory should be able to revive. Like so. Or at least stabilize. Now, if we circle around, that should count, and... Good. Good. That is what I want to see from all of you people. Drones included. However, there. What have we here? You press a key and the screen begins to flash. After a moment, the system reboots itself. When the screen winks back on, you find yourself staring at the contents of an administrative inbox. First message. Borkhard Hans to admin. We need to organize an all-staff meeting to discuss lab safety. Everyone is overworked and overstressed, and that's a perfect recipe for workplace accidents. I'm telling you, we cannot afford any more accidents. The loss of Van Wyck has been hard on everybody. He was well liked, and watching him die in such a horrible fashion has been hard on morale. The staff is still committed to the cause, they all know what they signed up for, and they know how important this is. But losing such a good man because of such basic lapses in lab safety has been a difficult pill to swallow. Second message. Falkenrath Adolf. I'm writing this to request additional security for the animal testing lab. You know how large and vicious these creatures can be. Without more trained handlers on staff, we're just begging for another accident. You remember what happened to Van Wyck? I'd also like to repeat my request that the animals be defanged, declawed, and muzzled, preferably someplace far away from the lab. Our having to use them is unavoidable due to their genetic similarity to our targets, but it doesn't mean that we can't take precautions. Third message. Ingrid de Neuf. I just wanted to thank you for pushing to bring the new Hermetic Lab online. It's good to know that you are listening to our requests. The research lab the Hermetic researchers have been doing should make our work with the Panacea much more manageable. Well, this whole facility is a hood and a half. It's a miracle they weren't shut down by OSHA. If only OSHA worked in Europe and knew what was happening here. But then again, people do not care what OSHA says either way. 2 more disabled turrets. And, gimme. There's a large crack that runs right through this section of wall. Please, gimme. But once again, we're going through a side door. Can you not? Ah. I really gonna need to. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I've traveled the world and the 7 seas. Everybody is looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to be used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. Glory, please. Correct, on both accounts, and down goes my support drone. It was good while it lasted. I can really tell you're in your 80s phase. I'm not that old. Let's see here. You are going down. Like that. Of course, it would be preferable if we also had a second blast, but the grenade should do the trick as well. Or not quite, but that's why we have these drones. And a 1. And a 2. And a 3. I have another one on standby, huh? Ouch. Yeah, we're pulling out all the stops on grenade usage. Now, where would that be? %. And if we were to go with that, still 67%. I am alright with these odds, especially if we throw in some HE phosphorus. Get lit on fire, shitheads, and die. Yep, burn. Glory, can you make it to that mage? Of course you can. Now, if you also tear his face off, that would be even better. They got some pretty decent armor over here, tell you what. Almost, but there we go. I'm just gonna... Oh, of course. Turn back my drone and use it to flank. Simple as that. I can, of course, try and do that and that. Second one missed, of course. Now I'm just gonna see what else do I have. Not quiet. Might as well move over here as a bit of a distraction. And yes, it worked. Now I just need to not die. Glory, keep cutting away. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Leave out, you little shit. Like so. That's right. Blades of Power. Kill an enemy with a magic spell while standing on a ley line. That was pretty sweet. That miss, however, was not sweet. Not at all. Not quite. So, kneecap. Kneecap. And keep blasting at him until you run out of ammo and have to reload. Ah, these drones are... I did a lot of heavy lifting on this one. Deflect incoming damage, huh? But ain't you the smartest? Tell you what. You may deflect bullets, but you don't deflect fists to the face. Especially if these fists end in sharp razors. Alright. Time for some revelations. The sounds of machinery fade behind you as you venture further underground. Whoever built this facility was clearly well financed. It must have taken years to design, excavate, and build a complex like this in secrecy. You continue through dimly lit halls, finally stepping into what appears to be another laboratory area. The corridor before you is deserted. Dr. Adrian Vauclair is somewhere within this facility, and with him, the answers you seek. I got some karma to spend, so might as well throw it into biotech. And I do need to patch myself up at some point. The drone might be lost forever, and I did spend my repair kit on the other drone. But here we are. The old man behind the glass works feverishly at his console, glancing up at you when he can. A cigarette dangles from his mouth, its bluish smoke curling around his head. An overflowing ashtray sits on the lab table in front of him. The years have not been kind, but his features are instantly recognizable. Despite his age, he still has the strong chin and high cheekbones that you remember from a Green Winters' DVD. This is Dr. Adrian Vauclair. As you approach, he stops what he's doing, a look of intense irritation on his face. He clears his throat, and a harsh, rasping sound emerges from the loudspeaker next to the glass. So, you're the Shadowrunners that Audran warned me about. I assume you've left a trail of corpses in your wake. And you must be Dr. Vauclair. That's right. I don't know why you insist on interfering with my work, but I assure you, that's over now. He reaches down, flips a switch. You hear a loud thud and a click behind you as the door locks shut. You'll find that the blast door behind you is sealed, and that the laboratory you occupy is fully secured. An important precaution. We keep our test subjects in there, and they are far more dangerous than you. I won't permit you to cause any further harm, Shadowrunner. You will remain trapped where you are for your own good. Let us out of here, Vauclair. We need to talk. I believe I can hear you well enough from this side of the glass. Now, I want to know why in hell you're so violently interjected yourself into my business. First, you break into my estate, which you didn't even know was mine, apparently. Then you spend what must have been a small fortune to track me down. You locate my AI, destroy it, then drive all the way out to the countryside. And finally, you shoot your way into my laboratory. He leans forward, hands on the table, his eyes narrowed into a piercing stare. So I have to ask you, Shadowrunner, who are you, and why in God's name are you here? For this one, we're gonna need to choose our answers very carefully. If we want to try and persuade good doctor that we have the best intentions. Gotta be going now, good luck. Watch the finale in the VOD. Get some rest. We came to find you, Vauclair, to help us stop Feuerschwinge. Except the Firewing wasn't the one after us after all. It was you all along, wasn't it? Vauclair sighs, covers his face with his pale, nicotine-stained hands. To help you stop Feuerschwinge. That is ironic. But yes, you are correct. I'm the one who has been hunting you. The one who sent Apex and Audran after you. You're going to pay for that, you bastard. Why attack the Kreutz Bazaar, Vauclair? Why kill Paul Amsel? It was necessary to preserve the secrecy of my work, for the greater good of all. I know I have wronged you, and for this, I'm sorry. He sighs a long, rattling sigh that quickly turns into a violent fit of coughing. The sound echoes of the loudspeaker. You've been a chain smoker for quite a lot of time. He collects himself, continues. I don't expect you to understand, nor do I have time to explain it to you. He straightens, glances back at the screen to his side, and nods curtly. Now I must know, how did you learn that I was still alive? How did you even know to look for me? Did someone tell me? Did someone tell you? We found out about you from your brother, Vauclair. He was trying to find you. Right up to the end. Vauclair starts, and the sudden movement of his arm sends his overflowing ashtray flying from the table in a cloud of ash. A look of dread fills his face. Up until... the end? What do you mean? Where is Hermie? Explain yourself! Oh, you mean you didn't know? You killed him too. Just like Paul and Monica. He slumps into the chair next to him, his whole body shaking. I didn't... He is suddenly overcome by another fit of coughing. He steadies himself on one arm of the chair. Apex. He clutches his chest. Should have never trusted that... thing. He closes his eyes and a tear traces its way down the gaunt hollow of his cheeks. Oh, Hermie. The things I've sacrificed. All for this. All for Panacea. All for tonight. Panacea. Your modified virus. What's tonight, Doctor? What are you planning with Panacea? He looks up, dazed. His eyes unfocused. Yes. Yes, you know about it then. Panacea is my life's work. A permanent solution to an age-old problem. It will mean the end of the dragons. Not just Feuerschwinge. All dragons. Explain yourself, Doctor. Vauclair fumbles in his pockets, produces a fresh cigarette. He lights it with shaking hands and breathes in deeply. The orange glow of the cigarette flares bright. When he exhales, the words spill out with the smoke. The Firewing burned and murdered and caused untold damage in her bestial rage. Until the Dragonfall. Until I stopped her. But that destruction was merely a symptom of our greater cancer. Feuerschwinge wrought destruction with fire and claw. The dragons of today, Lofvir, Dunkelzahn, Keledir, they kill and conquer with subtler tools. Deception, manipulation, corruption. He spits with disgust. They use us as pawns, playing pieces, puppets in their millennia-long machinations. Oh yes, dragons are a cancer. One that will conquer or worse, destroy all of humanity if we do not stop it. One that metastasized when the world awakened. An ironic metaphor, since it was the failing of my own body that allowed me to see it. Let me guess. You have cancer. Late stage, too. If I had to guess, I'd say leukemia. He is racked again by violent coughing, allows it to subside, takes another long drag of his cigarette, the ash creeping closer and closer towards his mouth. Your friend is correct. I suffer from cancer of the blood. Brought on by the radiation of the SOX, no doubt. It was when I heard my doctor's diagnosis that I realized what I had to do, what my life's work would be in the time that I had left. I'm sorry, Hermie. I'm sorry you won't be able to see it for yourself. I'm sorry I failed you. Vauclair turns his attention back to the computer, stubbing out his cigarette. He grabs a fresh one from the pack and lights it. Tonight, I will release my panacea to the world. and how absurd that the instrument of dragonkind's destruction. He presses a button on the terminal, and a large observation window at the far end of the room rises slowly open. Will be carried out by Feuerschwinge herself. Through the glass, you see the prostrate form of a dragon, far below. An enormous set of shackles binds it, and a maze of tubes snakes into its body. The tubes connect to a cruel-looking apparatus that has been mounted to the wall. Son of a bitch. Look at that. You found her alive in the SOX after all. Tonight, the Firewing will fly again. Infected with Panacea, she will slowly be destroyed from within. But before that happens, she will provide the catalyst for global transmission of the virus. Catalyst? What catalyst? As if spurred on by the sight of the dragon below, he begins typing furiously at his terminal. Feuerschwinge's fire will carry the agent in the dormant state. Any metahumans exposed will become carriers, will spread the disease to other dragons. The carriers will be infected with Panacea as well, but it will not harm them. To non-dragons, it is a nuisance, nothing more. When a critical mass of carriers is achieved, my Panacea will become unstoppable. It will spread across the globe in a relentless tide. However, if it does not reach its critical mass, it will fizzle, die out, become inert. Hence, with the need for a ground zero, a flashpoint for a mass infection event. He looks to the ceiling, mumbling to himself. I'm sorry, Hermie. I know you loved your flux state, but that doesn't matter now. It must be Berlin. Hang on a second. You're going to stick the Firewing on Berlin. He continues his work filled with feverish energy. To save the world, yes. For Panacea to work, Berlin must burn. A sacrifice, one for the greater good. Feuerschwinge will breathe her infected fire upon Berlin. Thousands will die, and through that destruction the virus will take to the air. A critical mass of Berlin's metahuman population will be exposed, but no one will even think to quarantine the city until it's too late. The flux state lacks any centralized authority. Corporations will evacuate their own. Thousands will flee the city, infected. He mutters, his voice growing more detached. Oh yes, Hermie. Berlin is the perfect flashpoint. It wasn't supposed to happen tonight, no, but this little intervention of yours leaves us no choice. So let us see. Tonight's wind patterns dictate that Ground Zero be Tempelhof Schönenberg. Highly populated. The virus will spread quickly enough from there. It is only a few kilometers from the Kreuzbazaar. Don't do it, Beauclair. I swear if I will make you hurt if you do. And I'll make it last. Beauclair sighs, shuts his eyes tight, brings a shaking hand to his temple. We all know that is not going to happen. We are trapped here, impotent to stop this from happening. And it will happen. The old man eyes the cigarette butt in his hand, fishes out another from the pack and lights it with a first. Then he returns to his console, reaching for the side for a microphone. He mutters something into the receiver, and you can just barely make out the sound of the name Audran. When he turns to address you again, his voice is level. The shaking in his hand seems to have subsided. Security will be here soon and they will take care of you. Do not worry, you will not be harmed. The sacrifice that I am making tonight is a necessary evil. It cannot be helped. But so long as you remain confined, I see no reason to kill you too. You don't burn a city and call it a sacrifice. You call it what it is. Mass murder. Beauclair stiffens, turning to face you. Anger washes across his face. Was it mass murder when America dropped the atomic bomb on Japan? The myopic would say yes, just as you are now. But they did it for a cause. To shorten the agony of war. To save the lives of thousands upon thousands of soldiers. The old man is trembling now. I do the same. For the good of the world. You know that America was pretty divided on the morality of that act, right? Some even considered it a crime against humanity. We are not talking ethics here. We are talking parallels. What I do will prevent a greater evil from taking place. Humanity was born to reproduce, to multiply. But dragons were born to acquire, to accumulate, to hoard. Both strive to bend the world to their will. Humanity has conquered the air, land, and sea through sheer numbers. Dragons, however, employ different means altogether. Throughout history, they have allowed us to do the heavy lifting, while they pull the strings. There are 17 great dragons in the world today. 17 ancient worms, millennia old, slowly dividing the planet into 17 piles of gold to nest upon, in front of our eyes. Once upon a time, they burned castles to steal the treasure we collected, laid waste to entire armies. But here in the sixth world, it is no longer about tooth and claw and fiery breath. The old man's voice seethes with hatred. Now it's public relations, marketing, mergers and acquisitions. You see it every day. Dragons on the Tradio, in the boardrooms, they gather influence, wealth, power, continually hoarding until one of them sits atop it all. Perhaps not in this cycle of the world, perhaps not the next, but one day, one worm will stand alone, triumphant, with all of humanity as its cattle, with all the world as its prize. And that... He trembles, his voice dropping to a whisper. That I will not allow. How are you going to get Feuerschwinge to go along with this plan of yours? Oh, that's simple enough. He gestures to his left. She has no choice. The gaunt woman in the containment cell stands rigidly, her face pressed against the glass, her haunted yellow eyes tracking your every move. She appears frightened, disoriented, lost. Her mouth moves silently, her voice muted by her glass cage. So the stories Green Winters found were true. Feuerschwinge's astral form was separated from her body when she fell. You trapped it somehow. Yes, but that came later. In 2012, we took down Feuerschwinge with an experimental weapon. This device, suffice it to say, I couldn't fully predict how it would affect her. In 2036, I led a search team into the SOX. I had to know what really happened to the creature that I had slain. We found her alive, in a way. The dragon's astral form, her spirit you might say, had been ripped from her body by the weapon. It was trapped inside a young woman living in the SOX. A mob of glowpunks revered her, treated her like a goddess. I transported the young woman and the dragon's body here, where I could study them. It means that she's been in that cell for almost 20 years? The old man nods absently. No choice. A creature separated from its astral form cannot live more than a few hours before both die. It was the high-intensity radiation of the SOX combined with the magical creature inside her that allowed the woman to live for as long as she has. So, Vauclair seems almost eager to explain. The environment within her containment chamber mirrors that of the SOX. It has allowed us to keep Feuerschwinge alive all these years, while her bestial shell remains chained up below. Now as for her physical form, that will be as simple as well. We've drilled a series of electrical charges directly into her skull. When we release the Firewing's body, empty of her astral self, we will trigger all of the vicious instincts and primal urges left in her reptile brain. She will unleash her fire where we command it. I'd go insane if I was trapped like that for 20 years. He shakes his head. Misplaced empathy. That beast blazed the path of fiery destruction across Germany. But no matter. I have more important things to do than to debate the morality of this with you. Feuerschwinge must fly, Berlin must be sacrificed, and it must be tonight. Now, where is that damned Odran? What if this virus mutates into a strain that can kill us too? An intelligent question from the Shadowrunner. Surprising. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to explain it to you in detail. And since you are locked in that laboratory with no chance of escape, I don't really need to. But understand this. I am an expert in my field. That is not an idle boast. It is a certifiable fact. and I have worked with nearly unlimited resources for over 40 years, focused on one goal. 42 years of isolation, of secrecy, dead to the world, dead to my brother, all for this, my life's mission. It will work. I promise you, Hermie, it will work. Your panacea is built on the backs of the RNA virus, and yet you aren't worried about the possibility of mutation. It had to be an RNA virus. No choice in the matter. If panacea is to work, it must be robust, unbreakable. A DNA virus wouldn't fit the bill. You aren't listening, Doctor. He's right. RNA polymerases are notoriously prone to replication errors. Any first-year biology student would tell you that. You have no way of knowing how your panacea will mutate once you let it go. You're playing with fire in every way imaginable. I am not a first-year biology student. I am at the forefront of my field, and I have told you it will work. I've spent decades on this, studying it, proving its effectiveness. Another spasm wrecks his chest. He leans against the desk, gasping for breath. You will respect that. Because I said so doesn't cut it, Doc. Not when the stakes are this high. What Val is saying makes sense, and you should know it. You may be crazy, but you aren't stupid. Are your findings peer-reviewed, Vauclair, or are you so invested in this idea of exterminating dragons that you are acting on faith? Vauclair stares at you through red-trimmed eyes for a long moment. And acting on faith makes for bad science. That is your point, yes? If the draconic threat could be stopped by the scientific community, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I won't deny the risks. But this is my life's work. And this is a risk worth taking. This is wearing. I've heard these arguments before, more often than I can count. They were rejected decades ago. You are wasting your breath. I advise you to accept this and move on. It will all be over soon. Even if you succeed at this, eliminating dragons will create dangerous power vacuum. A pointless argument. Any power vacuum created through dragonkind's extermination will be filled by meta-humanity. Any backlash will right itself over time. I am playing the long game, Shadowrunner, one that has played out over thousands of years. When you think on that scale, everything seems possible. Humanity will endure, and the dragons will perish. Look, you're not infallible, Doc. You've already made mistakes here, and people died as a result. Vauclair looks amused. Mistakes? He uses the tip of his cigarette to gesture at the glass. So says the career criminal trapped in the containment room. I've read some of your inter-office communications. There have been a number of deaths here over the years, haven't there? We have suffered losses, yes. They were tragic. But the people here accepted that there would be risks. They made their own choices. I won't take the blame for that. I get that they made their own decisions, but from what I was reading, it sounds like those people died from your negligence. Basic lapses in lab safety, it said. He glares at you through the glass. Is there some point that you're trying to make, or are you just trying to anger me? My point is that everyone makes mistakes, even you, and yet you want to roll the dice with a biological weapon. It will work, I'm telling you. Bet you told your researchers that their lab would be safe too. Look how that turned out. The muscles at the corners of his mouth tighten. Why am I even talking to you? You're trapped in here, and I've still got work to do. Audran will be here for you soon enough. The old man turns away from you, studying some invisible detail on his console. He looks irritated and tired. There are worse things out there than dragons, Vauclair. Exterminating one threat could open the door to another. He grinds his teeth in exasperation. Another pearl of wisdom from the Shadowrunner. The great dragons represent an incalculable threat to our survival as a species. To spare them for fear of some unknown nebulous danger would be absurd. Besides which, there is nothing that is worse than a dragon. I am in a position to know. You're wrong. An astral entity told me about things that exist out in the metaplanes. Horrifying things that we can't even hope to comprehend. He lets out a startled chuckle. Why does that matter? Even if your spirit stories are true, the dragons are what threaten us now. But dragons don't exist in a vacuum. They're a part of the awakened world's ecosystem, and they have been since the beginning of time. Let's agree that this is true. What does it matter? Smallpox was with us since the beginning, but I don't see anyone crying over its eradication. That's a false equivalence, Beauclair. You're an intelligent man, you know the dangers of what you're proposing. You just don't want to acknowledge them. I will not just sit back and let them take over the world. I must act. I will act. You may be right, Beauclair, but this isn't the answer. This plan of yours, it's crazy talk, but it isn't too late to stop it. I'll help you, if you let me. No, you will not. You're right, Shadowrunner. My plan is insane, but no more so than the world that we live in. He turns to tap a series of buttons on his control console, then lights another cigarette. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. History has repeatedly shown this to be true. Damn, for a second there I thought you might be getting somewhere. I understand your point of view, Shadowrunner, but no, you will not break my resolve. Still tapping at his console, his speech patterns shift. His words sound well rehearsed, and he delivers them as a dry, pedantic monologue. After all, science has always attracted its share of doomsayers. During the development of the atomic bomb, Compton and Oppenheimer expressed concern that a fission explosion could ignite the Earth's atmosphere. Fermi took bets on it. The group's research later indicated that the ultimate catastrophe would not happen, so they continued forward. He takes a long drag on his cigarette. I will show the same resolve that those great minds did. I will not be deterred. Beauclair, his voice thunders through the intercom, cutting you off. Of course I wish that there were a better way to save us. One without such a high human cost. I wish that Hermie hadn't had to die. But you go to war with the weapons you have, and panacea is the best solution that I have been able to find. We won't get another chance like this. Not any of us. I have to take it. Through the speakers you can hear the sound of heavy footsteps approaching. I have missed a point, so let's try that again. And remind him once again of his brother that he finished off. After all, we are almost there. Let's just quickly go through this. Let's try this one first. I'm sorry, Doc. He was digging too deeply into Feuerschwinge, so Apex killed him. And let's press that. All for what, Vauclair? Tell me what's going to happen tonight. You owe her me that much. So far, all the same. Oh, I forgot. Let's reload. And once again, do not forget to spend Karma on biotech. Now, that is important. That is very important indeed. Okay, now it should be good. And now I can say, this plan of yours killed your brother. Was it really worth it? Vauclair's fist slams into the table, sending his cigarette flying in a cascade of sparks and ash. No! Nothing can make that right. Nothing. He runs a hand through his unkempt hair, blinking through a haze of sudden tears. Damn it, Hermie. Why couldn't you just let me go? Listen to reason, Vauclair. Would Hermie want you to do this? Actually, let me double check on that one. Because if you cannot tell, I am trying for an achievement. But this should be good. Is it somewhere around here? You did not know my brother, Shadowrunner. Do not presume to speak to me on his behalf. Hermie would support me in this, if he knew what I know. Unless he was as crazy as you are, I doubt that. His lip curls. My brother is dead, and you make light of it. I suppose that I shouldn't be surprised. Rest assured, Berlin will burn tonight. And my brother, wherever he is, will understand. He turns and punches a series of buttons on his controls console. When he turns back, he seems to have calmed somewhat, but there is a firmness to his tone that wasn't there before. It happened again. I needed to choose a different phrase then. However, I'm looking and I confirm that I need Intelligence 6, Biotech 5, and Academic Etiquette. And if I cannot get this after this try, then I suppose we'll just have to go about this the old-fashioned way, with lots of shooting. And after all, an epic and climactic final battle is something that will be needed. So we can save us a little bit more time. There. Now we can continue. Let's try this. I understand your reasoning, but there has to be a better way. He continues his work filled with a feverish energy. Sadly, there is not. If there were, I would gladly take it. For Panacea to work, Berlin must burn. A tragic sacrifice, but one made for the greater good. You don't have to add to his loss, Doctor. This doesn't need to continue. He covers his eyes. No. No, I'm afraid it does. I loved my brother, more than you can know, but... He wipes away the tears, looks you in the eye. This changes nothing. My brother's death only strengthens my resolve. Were I to stop now, his loss would be in vain. He would want me to continue. Maybe he would, but that doesn't make it right. A dry chuckle turns into a rasping cough. I'll take your opinions on what is right with a grain of salt, Shadowrunner. When viewed through the lens of history, my panacea will be remembered as the key to our species' salvation. I won't live to see it, but it will happen, regardless of your beliefs to the contrary. Well, here we go. Outrun. Good. It's about time you showed up. Sorry, Doctor. We're waking up the dragon's physical form. It required some care. But the procedure is ready to begin now. You should see to it. The orc sneers at you from behind the glass, his scarred features writhing in the dancing light of Vauclair's monitor. Looks like he trapped the thugs who were attacking the manor. Yes, they won't be a problem any longer, but with Apex gone, our security is still compromised. We'd best still hurry. Oh, and don't run. Don't forget to clean the containment unit afterwards. The virus will kill Feuerschwinge along with the rest, and when it does, her astral form will perish as well. Human host or no. We're going to stop you, Vauclair. We'll find a way. And we'll make it painful. Audran twists suddenly towards the glass. Quiet! Everything's ready in the chamber, Dr. Vauclair. I think you should start the procedure yourself. Vauclair brings his cigarette to his mouth and inhales sharply, holding it for a long moment. Yes, my friend. It is time, Hermie. Let's do some good. Vauclair stubs out his last cigarette with a heavy sigh. I will begin the infusion process. Audran, please make sure our guests here are securely locked away before you come down. I'm sorry, Val. Sorry for your friend, Paul Amsel. Sorry for Frau Schaefer. Sorry for the Kreuzbazaar. Sorry for Berlin. I wish there were another way. An elaborate plan to destroy an entire species. A massive underground fortress with an army of mercenaries. You sound just like a dragon dog. Fire flashes in Vauclair's eyes. His back straightens. And what do you presume to know of dragons? I've spent my entire life studying them. Look at yourself. You're nothing more than the other side of the same coin. Those in power manipulating those who aren't. Perhaps I am. But for one difference. I am a man. I am finite. A man can gather power, wield it for his lifetime, but nothing more. His work will fade, lost to the inevitable entropy that decays all. Oh, he may create a dynasty that will stand for a time, but his dust will not reap its benefit. Vauclair's voice is steady now. For a moment, his age, illness, and fatigue all fall away. Dragons. Dragons are immortal. Time means little to them. What they will, and no power can truly stop them unless it is death itself. War, plague, famine, natural disaster, setbacks. Merely setbacks. Avarice eternal. No, Shadowrunner, I am not one of them. No more than you are. Vauclair looks down for a long moment, then turns and exits the room. Almost got him. Audran turns to stare at you through the glass. His lips curl into an insolent smile. Hi again. Long time. How's Amzel doing? That hole in his brain pan heal up okay? Glory fixes the orc with a cold stare. Don't all you want. If we get out of here, you'll wish you'd never set foot in the Kreutz Bazaar. The burnt orc knocks on the heavy transplast window separating you. Right, that's not gonna happen. The slab's locked down tight like the doc said. The test subjects that they keep in here don't play well with others. Dangerous, nasty things. And they don't smell great either. But you'll see for yourself in a second. Been meaning to talk to you about that. You could use some deodorant yourself, big guy. The stink from your smoldering corpse won't cover it, asshole. Listen, I gotta go. Have fun with the test subjects while I'm gone. He grins and flips a switch in a console. You hear the hiss of doors sliding open nearby. If you're still alive when I get back, I'll put a bullet in you or something. Let me check what time is it again. Oh. Looks like I'm gonna need to wrap up for tonight. As much as I'd like to finish this all in one sitting, I am afraid this will not happen right now. But next week, we'll definitely finish it all off. And hopefully we'll also be able to talk Vauclair out of it. I'm gonna need to look into this a bit more thoroughly. But for now, I'd like to thank you all for sticking around, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.